You put your foot pegs like
this. Put the foot pegs on it, the TJ pegs.
And then you put your steering wheel right here. Blah, 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 blah. That's gonna be great. Heave ho! Oh gosh, that thing's heavy. Who's steering this thing? All right guys, we've got a new project for you. You may be wondering what we're doing with a TJ. We've never built a TJ before. We've got something crazy up our sleeves. We're gonna try to see if we can turn this thing into a real rock crawler just by taking parts off of it. Similar to the Jalopy Jeep that we built for the Matt's off-road games, except way worse. I mean, way better.
That thing was sort of built. 3-link, 4-link, lifts, other stuff done to it. This, not so much.
So what can you do with an absolute zero budget? We bought this thing, you might have seen in the last video, for $2,000, took it out wheeling, and you may be wondering, why are we pushing it in here? Well, things got a little rowdy. We pushed it to its limits, and we broke it. So today we're gonna fix those things. I think what happened was the drive shaft broke and it hit the neutral safety switch and knocked that off the transmission. All the transmission fluid poured out. We gotta fix that, but otherwise we're gonna strip this thing down completely and see what we can turn it into. Let's get started.
2 front yokes in less than a week.
We're rough on things, what can I say? So there's the Bluetooth drive shaft. We also put a hole in the tire. That was actually a first obstacle. This thing held up really well with that patch in there. But otherwise, what we need to start doing, we're gonna take off the fenders, the hood. We're basically gonna strip this thing down to just what you need for an off-road rig. All you need is a motor, axles, and a seat, and a steering wheel. Maybe a gas pedal. Just 5 things. That's all you need for an off-road rock crawler. We're gonna strip it down to those 5 things and see how it performs after that. What should we start with? Hood?
Yeah, let's get the whole front clip off.
Is that what you were saying? If we sold all these parts for $2,000, it would actually be a free...
Yeah, we tried that with the Dodge, but the parts didn't sell as well as they should have. But Jeep parts are expensive.
Anybody need a Jeep Rubicon hood? A lot of these parts are rusted. If you see anything you like on here and you live local, let me know. I've got some Jeep parts for you. I'm gonna regret saying that because now I'm gonna have 8,000 messages. Can you ship that to Washington? No, I can't. Look how nice this is right here. I'm sure that's gonna come out great. That's why it's so low, is because the body mount's all rusted out and then it just fell down. Yeah, that might be a problem. We're shaving weight already though. Well, that one came out. Let's leave the grill as long as possible because that's going to hold the radiator, but also it'll still be like the only thing Jeep on it.
Jeep on it, yeah.
We'll have to remake these like down to the frame or something because these are going to disappear because that goes to the body. We're taking that off. Alright, got most of the body mounts out, except for these middle ones. They're too rusted, but it's actually broken off on the frame, so I don't think that's going to matter. I think it's just going to lift off of there. Now, what we need to do is get everything off the firewall, because we're going to lift this cab off, but we want everything with the motor still attached to the frame and the motor. So we need to pull all the wiring off, all of the heater core stuff off, the brakes, anything that makes this run and drive, we want it to stay with the frame, right?
Yeah, got a lot of emission stuff, but I don't know how much we're gonna have to keep it connected.
I would keep it all for now and then we'll figure it out later.
Take it apart piece by piece until it doesn't run right.
Yeah. Anything that's going to be questionable later on, tag it with that. We always think, oh, we'll remember what that stuff is, and then 3 days later it's like, what is that? So this line right here goes to the heater core. I'm just gonna snip these and we're gonna route them back on themselves. These two lines on the 4.0 are 5/8 and 3/4. So I keep a bunch of these always in case your heater core blows. You just stick that in there and stick that in there. And you can get by for as long as you need to, just without heat. Guess what, babe?
What's that?
We're building again. And you know what that means?
That lunch lady services are supposed to come back out there?
Yeah, the lunch lady needs to make a reappearance now that we're building again.
You gotta warn me that you're coming up here with a camera, babe.
Guys, you gotta clap for her because she finally...
Oh, for Pete's sakes.
We finally finished the ceiling. We didn't have a ceiling for like 3 years.
It was like 2.
What do you got for us?
I've got shrimp spaghetti with a kick. And some yeast rolls and some asparagus.
All made from scratch, right?
Yeah, this one is. Is that? I don't know if that was supposed to be like catty or not. Was that? Are you being serious?
Like scratch. You like rolled out the dough and
You're talking about the yeast rolls.
let it rise. And...
These ones are the best.
Is this how we do this? This goes in here. Check it out, Joshua. This is mine, though. You can't have this.
All I can see is asparagus.
That's attractive.
Do it. Okay, we've got the fenders off. We've got everything disconnected from the firewall. Everything disconnected from the brakes, the transmission. Transfer case. I'm sure we're gonna find something that's still attached.
There's gotta be a wire.
There's gonna be a ground or something. We're at the point where we're ready to try and see what pulls against us here. Josh is over here stealing parts still. Doesn't that Jeep have a hard top on it?
It's got a hard top on it.
Hard tops are better than soft tops.
It's hard to take the top off.
Yeah, but they're worth more. You're trying to sell it. Why are you going to put a soft top on it?
It can come with a hard top.
You're an oddball. We're going to roll this thing back to the lift and try and yank it off that way and see what happens.
I thought it'd be lighter. Okay. It's gonna be pretty rear heavy trying to lift it just off air.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
We could go up here. The only issue with that is I think the lift stops up right about there. So it's only going to lift about 1.5 feet.
That's all we need. 1.5 feet.
What if we want to push it out backwards? Okay, we'll try that. Let's go up. There we go. Okay. Oh.
Whatever that is free.
I heard something pop.
I don't see anything holding it.
Maybe it was just...
Rust?
Yeah, maybe it was this guy right here. Oh, that's as far as it goes. Oh, there is some lines getting held up right here, but they're not attached. They're just held up. I think that's got to be a world record for taking the cab off.
It's pretty quick.
Oh, just stuck my hand in this mess. Look at that.
All right, put the seat on it. Let's roll.
So I think a lot of people are still confused as to what we're doing. I think you can kind of see it now. So we're trying to reduce weight on this thing, but at the same time, we are going to turn this into our rock crawler. The idea being, if you're sitting right here, I think this would be a perfect seat right here. So you're sitting right here, you got your brake pedal on this side, you got your gas on this side. steering wheel right here. You can see all 4 tires, so you can see what you're doing really well. You can see in front of you, you can see behind you, and there's less weight. It's gonna be perfect.
I think you're a little close.
That's how you ride a motorcycle. You want to be right up front.
That's going to be a wintertime vehicle right there.
You put your foot pegs like
Put the
this,
foot pegs on it, the TJ pegs.
and then you put your steering wheel right here. Blah, 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 blah. That's going to be great. Oh, I'm getting too old for this. I don't know. Do you think we should take the gas tank and move it up?
I think we should move everything up that we possibly can move up.
You know, if we're moving the gas tank, what if we just cut the back off right here, right behind the shocks? Then you would have that approach angle, that 0-degree approach angle.
Or departure, yeah. I like that. I'd say we could get more approach except that,
Yeah, on the TJs, the steering boxes stick so far out that you can't really shove anything back in further. But if that steering box was moved, I mean, you could cut this frame all the way back to where the radiator sits.
if they do that, I just don't know how.
On a TJ,
Pretty sure.
you can do full hydro. So next up, seat. Move some things around, fix what we broke on the last outing, which you can see right here. I think the drive shaft flopped around and broke this off, and then all of our transmission fluid leaked out.
Have to figure out what that is and get a new one.
That's got to be neutral safety, maybe? Oh, we got to fix the drive shaft, and we got to mount our brakes. We got to mount our gas pedal and some sort of shifter as well.
And a steering.
Yeah, I might want to steer it somehow. Oh, you know, if we did full hydro, wouldn't even need a steering wheel. Could just use a button. I wonder how hard that would be to get used to.
I imagine once you did get used to it, it would be better. It would be good for rock crawling. It'd be really bad for driving down the trail quickly.
Oh, that's something we should do too. These tires
You gotta groove them.
are brand new. Since we're going with a $0 budget, we're just gonna groove the heck out of these and make them some awesome rock crawling tires. These will be super swampers before you know it. All right, so first off, we want to do all the easy stuff. So we want to remove the sway bars. That's going to give us more flex. We're going to do that front and rear. And any of those easy modifications, that's going to make this thing perform much better. Oh yeah, good first step. There's a sway bar here on the back axle as well. Right in there with all that junk that we don't need. This thing is rusty. You know, Josh, if I was a competitor on the BleepinJeep Beast Wars, which those guys are hard at it, by the way. If you haven't followed along with their progress, type in hashtag BleepinJeep Beast Wars, or I'll leave a hashtag below. All you have to do is click that hashtag and you can see all of their progress because they're tagging that stuff. But basically what it is a $5,000 budget build, sort of like the Onyx build challenge that we did in previous years, except this is for newer and up and coming YouTubers, which is what you guys said that you wanted, and we have provided. So they're building budget rigs, but if I was going to be building a budget rig, I think I would do this. I think this is going to perform pretty well.
You are building a budget rig.
Maybe we should take this for the BleepinJeep Beast Wars. I don't know if it'll be much of a recovery rig, but it would kind of set the standard, maybe.
Yeah.
Of what's possible on $2,000 or cheaper, which they have a $5,000 budget. The cool part about it is to keep people in that $5,000 budget, we've said that they're going to have to sell it for $7,000 to another competitor if that other competitor wants to buy it. So that's going to spice things up a little bit. I got the sway bar disconnected there, working on the back. What are you working on there, the drive shaft? What do you think about this? What if we cut the back half off right here, took that fuel tank and just set it vertical like this way, right there behind the driver's seat, kind of like down in here. I want to get it as low as possible so we're not like raising it up too high.
Probably gonna be right here.
I'm gonna be sitting right up here on top of the motor.
You go right ahead.
getting lighter and lighter. For those of you saying that we're ruining this beautiful TJ, you guys might have missed it in the last video. You should see this. It's coming apart in chunks. It's not a beautiful TJ, it just looks it on video. Let me show you something under here. You might not have seen this. Holy moly! You guys see that? You might not be familiar with that unless you live up north, which is probably where this thing came from. That's no bueno right there. Josh, do you know where this Jeep came from?
Kentucky.
Came from Kentucky?
That's where I picked it up from.
I wonder if it worked its way down from Canada.
That's not possible.
So right now there's nothing holding the grill in place, so we're going to take care of that. We're going to use as many leftover parts as possible. So this used to go to the body. I'm thinking I can flip that upside down and just come down here to the shock tower and weld that in place, and that'll stiffen that back up. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh man, that looks like a real Jeep right there. That thing is solid tight now, not going anywhere. I think the next step should be doing something with this gas tank. It's got a nice hard skid plate on it, but I think like we said, if we can get our departure angle in the negative, is that how you call that? Then we'll be looking really good, because then if we wanted to, we could just like back up against a wall and just climb a vertical wall. Test it out right there on that wall.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm thinking just chop there. Well, we'll drop this real quick and then chop there, and we can see like where it fits after that. See if it just naturally fits somewhere. Probably don't want to get it too close to the heat source.
What are you thinking for feet?
I'd like to see gas pedal on the right side, brake pedal on the left side, like a go-kart. I think that would be hilarious.
Okay.
It would be like a learning curve a little bit, because you're not typically used to that. But this thing's not going to be like a vehicle. It's going to be more like a go-kart, because it's so ridiculous. I want a center seat, and it would be great if we could get the steering wheel in the center, which isn't going to work out perfect, but if it was centerized.
Lots of joints.
Yeah, it's gonna have to kind of dogleg around, I think. It's looking good so far. Let's get this thing cut. How's that held in there even?
Just straps.
All right. Fuel tank. Check. I would ask the audience, like, if anybody has a smaller one, but by the time this video comes out, we'll be finished with this build. We could do like you said and put an external pump, but then we're spending money, which we said we wouldn't do. So let's see if we can figure that out. But right now, let's take these bolts off here. I'm gonna get a Sawzall and we'll just chop the back end off. Oh! Ah! Oh. Oh yeah. There goes another 50 pounds. Do you think after we finish this that we're gonna start seeing these all over Windrock? This is gonna be the new craze.
Depends on how low it was.
We're gonna go out and make wide open buggies look real bad. So if you're not familiar with the TJ, their ground clearance kind of stinks because you have this big old pan that sticks down about 4 or 5 inches below the frame.
The issue is this guy.
Yeah, the issue is the short drive shaft. And we could get a slip yoke eliminator, but that costs money. We're trying to do this on the cheap. See if that drive shaft will still spin. Yeah.
There's actually plenty of room.
So now we need to see if that fuel tank will fit right in here.
We try to go a little higher.
Try it. Let's see if we're at a flat belly yet. It's almost a flat belly. Not much left. Just the transfer case a little bit sticking down, but not too bad.
Lost my wood.
You lost your wood. You shoved your wood in here.
No, I had a smaller wood.
That lifted it some. And that still turns. Oh, it bound up right there. Clears there, but just barely. We want to have some room for when it bounces, because when it bounces, it's gonna come down further.
You can. Like extension trucks.
Things stretch.
Things stretch.
The engine and the motor mounts are going to be moving around too.
Yeah.
All right, so we got the transfer case and transmission right about as high as we want it. Drive shaft doesn't bind. We're at full droop, and we're almost flat belly. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to take off this big hunk of silliness. I was going to use another word, but thought twice. We're going to take this thing off, and we're going to try to do a flat belly skid. Come over here. I've got some 1/4 inch. I've got a plate of 1/4 inch right here that we could cut. Probably only need to use about, a foot or 18 inches of it, maybe just like that is. Well, we were trying to be absolutely zero budget, but that's going to cost you like, I don't know, what, 25 bucks, maybe 50 bucks.
Watch Marketplace, people sell chunks. You can always find some sort of metal to put under there.
Yeah, I was thinking if we had any that we took off the Jeep, but the hood's not strong enough. The bumper is too thick. If we had a big old press, we could just flatten this. Uh-oh, I think we have a problem. That's probably the reason why this thing cost $2,000 and nobody wanted to mess with it. The nuts on the inside are just spinning with the head.
As soon as you stick your finger in the hole in the frame, it's just pile of rust.
It'll add lots of flex though.
Okay, it's loose.
I got a couple loose, but they wouldn't come out. No. Old Susie to the rescue. Old Susie. That one, I got two of them. Like 50 pounds gone. Alright guys, we did some redneck calculating, and here's what we came up with. We're gonna reuse this. This is the factory skid plate. We're just gonna mount it right there. Just gonna weld it here, 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 and here, and then we'll just drop the fuel tank in there. It'll be about 3 feet in front of where it was. It's a lot higher, which I don't like, but it's gonna clear everything here, and it'll be a lot farther forward, which I do like.
I don't think it's going to affect
Our center of gravity, our cog, we took a lot of weight out up here, so hopefully this won't be too bad. I wanted to get it a lot lower, but it's just gonna be in the way of things down there. It'll be a lot more complex and complicated. So this will do. All right, so that's 1 day's worth of work. We're gonna wrap it up for tonight. We'll be right back here in the morning. So far, we've got the gas tank on there. Cut some brackets off. We're starting on a skid plate for the bottom. We're gonna try to make a flat skid there. Of course, we did this earlier, but we've got a lot more left to do.
This was all the afternoon. We didn't get started until afternoon.
That's pretty good progress. I'd say if you were really pushing 8 hours or something in a day. Of course, we probably worked 8 hours still. We work pretty late. We don't usually close up until about 6:30 or 7. But I'd say another 4 or 5 days and this thing will be ready to jump some stumps.
I'd say so.
We'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, we're back at it today, and came into the shop this morning. Look at all the rust that just fell off of this thing overnight. I mean, it's falling apart by the minute. Josh, what happened?
I already swept this up once this morning. Everything down here came from the inside of the frame.
Yeah, you sweep, it just keeps on falling. Look at,
Ridiculous.
it's hard to tell in the video. I don't know that this frame's got much left to it. Look at this. It's a little holy. Today we're gonna continue working on that skid plate. I am over here pulling the seat. I pulled the passenger seat because that one is rusted in place. The bolts are just completely gone. So is one on this passenger seat, but now I gotta figure out how to mount this thing. It's got this complicated thing because it's a two-door and it kind of folds forward to get people in the back seat. So we'll have to figure out how to make that all work. Probably gonna take all that off and then figure out how to get that to sit here somehow. You just can't help yourself from making messes.
That's all this thing is a mess. You guys complain when we tear apart nice things. There's a reason we use nice things to begin with. You end up with a nice thing at the end and you don't have to deal with this.
You mean a rust bucket?
Rust bucket.
Alright, check this out. I got that down to the slide. I still want to use the slide because Josh is kind of short. He needs to slide up forward closer to the pedals when he drives.
Matt's got those Michael Phelps legs.
The slide is still here. We just have to figure out something to attach this to, and then we'll be pretty good. Now figuring out what to attach that to when there is nothing to attach it to, that's going to be the hard part.
Build a bridge.
Alright, I got the gas tank back in just so we can make sure we don't mount anything too close to it where it won't fit later. And I don't like this. I think I'm going to cut this and make it stick straight up instead of out over the tire. Sound good to you, Joshua? If I catch on fire, put me out fast, okay?
You're just gonna blow up.
Perfect. That looks good right there. Artwork. What you got going on over here?
Nuts and bolts and steel and wire.
So this is part of the skid plate.
Slash frame stiffener.
Have to rebuild back better.
Yeah.
All right. You want me to weld those?
Yeah, go ahead.
There's hardly any real metal left there. Since half the frame is missing here, this piece right here is going to act as a frame stiffener, but it also has bolts welded to it, and this is going to be where the new crossmember slash skid plate gets bolted onto. So what we need to do is weld this right there, and we'll take these bolts out, put new holes for the skid plate. Josh is working on the other side. Josh, you want me to weld this in?
Yeah, go ahead.
We're getting so good at this, we should start a razor manufacturing business. This is our razor 55,000. You can have yours for only 55,000. I mean, it's practically just as good as a razor.
Practically.
Practically.
It's got solid axle.
Even better. So this is how we typically do our skid plates. Well, not typically, but sort of, kind of. We'll weld nuts to the bottom of a piece of steel, then we'll cut holes in the frame. Then that gets shoved up in there, and then the bolts will actually go up inside the frame, and the skid plate will get mounted here, like this. Did you sizzle your eardrum?
Yeah. Gotta think that.
What? You alright?
That one went deep.
Well, at least you don't have to pluck your ear hairs. So I was actually looking into this last night. I wanted to see if anybody had done this with the TJ, and I could not find anything. If you guys know of anybody who's tried this or done this, send me a link. But turns out this is very popular in the car world, which I'm not accustomed to the car world. I'm in tune with the Jeep world, but they call it an exo car in the car world. Have you heard of this?
Also call it a cut down.
A cut down? So you basically take your car and you take everything off of it that's not absolutely necessary. And then typically they'll build an exoskeleton around that because you still want to be safe, but they try to get all the weight out of it and all of the unnecessary items out of it, which is what we're doing here.
Kind of just a rail buggy too.
What I wanted to express to you guys though is all this custom work we're doing for the skid plate isn't necessary. Like if you wanted to try this at home, what we're doing right now isn't necessary. We're just trying to gain a couple of inches of ground clearance, which for us is important because we're really going to use this thing heavy duty. But if you don't have the skill to do this part, you don't have to do this part. Making a skid plate and doing a flat belly is pretty tricky. It's a lot of work. If you don't have a plasma cutter, welder, I'm sure you could still do all this. Like I could have bolted this somehow if I didn't have a welder.
Or just left it where it was, although you would have a bad departure angle.
Yeah, there's all kinds of different ways to do this depending on your skill level, but I just wanted to say that you don't have to go this extreme. So believe it or not, the seat on the actual TJ sits right about there. You're basically sitting right at the rear tires, which is kind of strange.
You figure your firewall is about right here, and then your dash and stuff is going to come out to here. Your steering wheel's here, so it makes sense.
I'm thinking I'd like to move that way forward and it'd be sitting right about there.
I think that's too far.
That's right in the middle of the wheels. Doesn't that make sense?
If you look at it that way, yes, but...
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, that's perfect right there. Look at that. Isn't that going to be great?
I'm going to say no.
You can just cook your hot dogs on there while you're driving.
You're just going to be able to eat your calves. I like it.
Hello? Lunchtime.
Lunchtime.
Guess what time it is?
It's the dinging of the GoPro time, I guess. Oh, thanks.
Are you wearing your Matt's Off-Road Recovery shirt? Look at these new hats that we have. Do you have those on the website yet?
Yes.
Alright, get your hats. Call this the duck hat.
You always call anything with a yellow bill.
Looks like a duck bill.
Yeah.
What you got for us today?
Today is San Antonio beef bowls.
Mmm.
So it's rice, and then meats, and pico, and chips, and cheese.
Blue.
And lettuce.
Blue tortillas.
Yeah, they're delicious. These are the best.
Mmm. Alright guys, check this out. This is the brake pedal and the brake pedal assembly from the tub there. We're not really ready to mount this anywhere, but what I can do to get started is to sandwich a plate in between here that I can then weld to something solid. This isn't very sturdy right here, so what I'd like to do is get something a little more solid that I can come down to the frame when we're ready, and that will hold the brake pedal. We can twist it, get it right where we want it, depending on where the seat ends up being, and then just weld it with a tube or something down to the frame. What you got?
Need your help.
I can do that. What are we doing?
You've got a line with an arrow about right here.
The arrow? Am I going to the arrow?
Yeah. It'll be on the back side of it, I guess.
The back side?
Yeah.
Okay.
The answer to everything.
42?
42.
Alright.
Line with an arrow should be about 3 inches back from the mount thingy. 33 and a half.
Hey, I just had a thought. It might be a stupid thought. What if we mounted the seat to the transmission.
I don't think that's a good idea.
It'll be great.
It's a thought.
If we mounted the seat to the transmission, I don't know what that would achieve, but it would be one of a kind.
It would be one of a kind.
Oh yeah, look at that. This goes here. Alright, so all that's going to do is allow me to have something to mount this thing to. So I left it a little bit long. Instead of being square, it's rectangular, so it comes down here, and then I can mount it either to the roll cage that we make later, or I can mount it to the frame. And I believe it's square, so you could turn it this way and have this extra long piece sticking out the side if we need that. Alright, Josh is down here working on the transmission crossmember mount. What did you decide we're gonna do down here?
I haven't yet. I was just getting it out of the way. Trying to get everything out of the way so work this pan on.
Make it flat.
Yeah.
Alright guys, we got some redneck engineering going on here. We have that skid plate balanced on a jack, and it's got no holes in it. We don't know where the holes need to be because they're not super precise. So we've got some redneck engineering here. We got some grease that we put around the holes. So we're gonna slide that thing through here and then jack it up. It's gonna leave a grease impression, and then somewhere in the middle of that we need to punch some holes so that we can put these bolts up through and hold that sucker in place.
That work?
Yeah. Now the grease is going to be smeared all over the place, but
We'll see if this works.
oh yeah. Check out our redneck ingenuity there. What I always like to do is make these holes bigger, like way bigger. That way, when you smash this thing on a rock and it bends all to heck, you still have a little bit of wiggle room because it's gonna happen.
It's definitely gonna happen.
We put it up there and then we pushed it towards me. So I'm gonna say that the dot needs to be right about there somewhere. What are the chances it's all gonna line up?
My first one did.
Oh yay.
My second one doesn't fit through the hole.
My third one lines up.
I got one in. The big one. I really do think we should think about mounting the seat right to the transfer case.
I know.
It'll be great. It's gonna be awesome. All right, there's our little buggy or whatever you want to call it. Minimalistic Jeep TJ. All right, we're gonna continue on this. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure that you are subscribed. It really helps us out a lot to hit that subscribe button and the little bell button. And we're gonna continue this in the next video, so stay tuned for that.